Hey, good evening, everybody. TV Daryl. I've got a question for you. As you can see in the title, is 200 miles per gallon possible in an EV? I'm going to ask some of the Tesla fans. The Model 3 is the most efficient EV on the market. So I'd have to ask them guys to convert their watt hours per mile to kilowatts and give me a shout out. Let me know. A couple of days ago, I did a YouTube short, and in that, I was talking about how I had gotten 167 miles per gallon when you do the conversion, because 33.7 kilowatts of energy used is the same of 1 gallon of gas. And if you need to, I've got a video on that talking about all the scientists who worked out how that works out. People, lots smarter than what I am. And they have calculated that it takes 33.7 kilowatts of energy to equal 1 gallon of gas. So, as you know, gas vehicles, internal combustion engines, ICE vehicles, whatever term you want to call them, even the most efficient ones, like a Toyota Prius, I owned one for 13 years. I loved it. Best car I ever had. I drove it 250,000 miles. Even that, as the most efficient ICE vehicle on the market, is still only less than half as efficient as an electric vehicle who's up in the 90 percentile somewhere. Exactly, I don't have the numbers in front of me. So when I got 167 miles, the other day I did a YouTube short. As I was driving down the road, I just happened to look down, and I noticed I was coming up on 33.7 miles kilowatts used. And I looked at my mileage I had driven since I had it reset, and I had driven 167 miles, and so I created that short, and over the last 2 days, it's gotten quite a few hits, numerous comments, good, bad, indifferent, just lots of comments. So that brought me up to my next question. Is it possible to get 200 miles without, I don't believe in hypermiling or doing the extra end of it. So the extra, I don't know what you want to call it. Mine is completely from normal driving. I Ubered today. As an Uber driver, you stop and start 150 times an hour. But I've also driven, like today, prime example. I went to bed last night, charged my car up, got up this morning, had a full charge. I drove 122 miles today, Ubering, about 3.5 hour drive time, something like that. And then I went to my daughter's house this evening. Then I took my wife out for dinner. We had a nice, wonderful dinner. And on my way home, I noticed I was getting close to, once again, 33.7 kilowatts used. And I looked down, and I was still getting the same 5.0 miles per kilowatt. So I told my wife, I said, I believe I'm going to be close to right around, when you get 5 miles per kilowatt, that's right around 167 miles per gallon. And I had 10% interstate driving, at least maybe 15% interstate driving today. Then I had highway, like normal 55 mile an hour highway driving. I had city driving, start and stop. Most of it was city driving, starting and stopping, drop off pickups, those types. So there were a lot of driving today. And so then it hit me. If I drove, and I'm averaging, it said 5.0 again. I think I'm getting closer to 5.1 on this time. And we're gonna check into that here in a minute, because I just rolled up. I pulled over to a local parking lot. I've just rolled up to 33.7 miles, 33.7 kilowatts used today, and I'll show you how many miles I drove. So having said that, but I did average driving. I did stop and start. Like I said, just a combo. I've used 2% of my energy was towards air conditioning. This morning it was beautiful out, probably low 60s when I first started. So about the first hour, I didn't need an air conditioner. None of my passengers were even interested in air conditioning. They said it was just nice. Some cracked the windows, some kept them up. And then the last few hours, 2.5 hours, I had the air conditioning on. So today, and then I had the air conditioning going to my daughter's house, and then had the air conditioning going to dinner and back tonight. So I only use 2% for the HVAC system. But my question goes out, when I said that, you would have to average, let me get my notes, you would have to average 5.95 miles per kilowatt to get over 200 miles, to get 200 miles per gallon. I'm not sure that's even possible. I don't think it is. I noticed if I got 5.2, I could drive I'd get 175 miles per gallon. That's very doable. If I didn't have 15% interstate driving, which, you know, interstates are very inefficient. When you're driving 70, 75 mile an hour on the interstate, your miles per kilowatt drop very quickly. And I did 2 transports today that required interstate driving. So I drove, I'd say, at least 20 miles, 25 miles on the interstate today. But it's just a ballpark guess. So if I hadn't done that, and it had been all start and stop and in-town driving and maybe some 55 mile an hour highway driving, state highway driving, I think 5.2 was easily doable. And that would average you 175 miles per gallon. If you could get 5.5, you'd get 185 miles per gallon. So 5.2 is doable. 5.5, I'm not so sure. And man, 5.95 miles per kilowatt, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more people with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles under their belt that could give me a lot better information. So please respond. Let me know if you've done that, if you're getting close. What's your convert, especially Tesla boys, convert your watt hours per mile, which Teslas are in. Convert those to miles per kilowatt, and let me know. I'm impressed, you know. So let me switch over and show you the center console where I'm at tonight, and we'll go from there. Okay, hope that's zooming in okay there. I can't really tell. But currently tonight I got 170.2 miles per gallon. As you can see, I got 5.0, same as the other day, but I believe I'm closer to 5.1 as my center console. Let me just move over to the center console. As the center console, is actually at 5.1. So here's what I've driven today. 170.2 miles. I still got a half a tank left. Let's do the math. 170 and 156. When I came out this morning to start Ubering, the full tank showed 312 miles. But currently, we're up to where I think it's up to about 320. Is that? I'm not doing the math here real good. 326 maybe. So without that, let's get out of here. I think that shows pretty much where we're at. I just wish that would not, it's kind of blurry. I apologize for that. I wanted to show you guys again. My lifetime on this car is in the upper right hand corner. 4.5 miles per kilowatt over the last 13,296 miles. So again, it's been a lot of summertime driving other than March and April when it was cold and kind of cruddy here in Illinois. So, and I'm sure that'll drop this winter. But having said that, I just wanted to touch base and please let me know. Anybody who's gotten 175, 180 miles per gallon, just give me a comment. Let me know how you've been doing. So with that, I'll get out of here. Please have a blessed evening, and everyone, stay safe out there. Thank you.